Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. Now, this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing, bitches banging, 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 banging. I remember when the ATL wasn't banging, now they banging, 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 banging. Niggas throwing sets and them bullets start ringing like bang, 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 bitch, nigga, bang, 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 bang.
Yo, peace, what's going on? What's happening, y'all? MD back at it again, checking in with y'all for the week, seeing what's up, seeing what's happening. Shit, I ain't doing much, man. Just riding down these highways and byways like I usually do. Fucking tired, man. Well, I'm tired for a specific reason. I had a breakdown on the highway last night, man. I didn't get back in till like almost 2 o'clock, so I'm pretty fucking tired. Pretty fucking tired, man. I ain't like I slept when I could have, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, so I'm pretty tired, man. For this week, again, I'm not gonna at this point, man. It's like, man, I do this shit whenever I can, man. I do have my new charger. So everything is straight and situated with my laptop. Look at this motherfucker, man. Like, why? Damn, bro. Do your tarps fucking right when you fucking supposed to. Then you all close on the shoulder and shit. But anyway, it's just when I stop in the evening, man, it's hard for me to like try to put the show together because it's time consuming. Again, I'm not complaining about it because I like doing it. Now asshole just blew a tire right in front of me. Always something damn on 85, bro. But anyway, I enjoy doing it. But you know, and like I said, it ain't no shot at nobody in particular. I just don't feel like the engagement on a lot of the time, not from an audience perspective. I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, I do, but it's not of a greater significance to me than the actual engagement from my co-hosts. You know what I'm saying? Which they do engage. I'm not saying that they don't, but I just think that from where I am politically right now, I don't want to try to string nobody along. So, I'm gonna try to do the election results show this week. That at least that's my goal. It's not gonna be a TFP because I'm not editing no videos this week. I'm not gonna be able to do it. But I'm gonna still try to do an election results show MD Thoughtbox Live. I know it's not going to be Wednesday because I got something to do on Wednesday. So it'll have to be Thursday. But then again, even with, like, I switched it from Thursday to Wednesday because that Thursday night, I got to get some sleep so I can get up in the morning so I can get home as early as I can. And a lot of times when we do shows on Thursdays, the shit end at like 12 o'clock, and I'm trying to get up like hell. If I get to Florida early enough, I can get up like around 4 and get the fuck on, and be back in Gainesville by like noonish. Because it's the weekend. I want to get home. But so that's one of the reasons I switched from Thursday to Wednesday. But a lot of times on Wednesday, man, they got me doing little side missions and all type of shit, man. So my schedule is just tough. My schedule is tough. So but I think I'm gonna try to warrior through it this weekend. Try to do the election results show Thursday night. I don't know what time yet. I'll let everybody know at some point. Because we're wrapping up primary season here. Pretty much like all the big primaries will be pretty much done by this week. Tomorrow, well, today, rather. What's today? Today, Tuesday, right? Yeah, today we got the Florida primaries with the governor's race and the congressional races. We got a couple that's going to be pretty big. People say the Byron Donald Fishback, that shit is not big. Fishback is going to lose in terrible fucking fashion. I'm more watching like the Wasserman Schultz Manley race and the Larkin Moskowitz race. Those are the two biggest races to me in the state of Florida today. In St. Augustine, you see all the Randy Fine shit. Randy Fine is going to win like handily. Like, it ain't all of the Republican races. I mean, I'm not going to say that broadly because there has been some Republican upset knocking MAGA maniacs out the box. I don't expect that in a state like Florida, though. That's just me. I could be wrong. I don't expect it in a place like Florida, which is like MAGA territory, like, MAGA maniac up and down the state. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll see how everything goes. We'll see how everything goes. And like I said, we'll recap all the big primary races this Thursday night. So I wanted to talk about this because again, this goes back all the way back to the last Thoughtbox Live that I did with Bankat and Ricardo, and Bankat was banging me over the head with the hammer saying Trump this, Trump that, what about what Trump is doing? And, again, I understand the severity of the inequities of Trump. I'm not saying that I don't. I've always told everybody the reason I am where I am now is because of the inept nature of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a retard. It's just what the fuck it is, and I'm not going to sit idly by and support the falling of America any longer. As far as the foundation of what we are as a country, I'm not gonna fucking do that. But at the same time, this motherfucker is so stupid, so dumb, that I'm not gonna sit here and talk about everything that he do every second of every hour. It's retarded. Idiocy sells itself. People see that this dude is an idiot. I don't need to keep saying it. I don't need to keep saying it. It goes all the way back to when James Carville originally said it shortly after Inauguration Day for Trump to lay down and play dead. A lot of people took offense to that. A lot of people took offense to it. Now in 2026, in the later stages, we're starting to realize, hey, you know, maybe he's right. And the reason that I know that people are starting to say that now is because the media attention or lack thereof that Trump is getting on the mainstream level. People just don't give a fuck no more. They just don't. And I don't blame them. Because every day is something different. Every day. And the second year ain't even up yet, and people are already done. And that's on both sides, right and left. That's what we facing now with this dumbass Donald Trump in office. I told y'all the night of the election, get your hand baskets ready. You know, it was cool in the beginning, talking about all the crazy shit that Trump and his administration was doing. It was fine. It was cool pointing out the potential guardrails that were ahead of Trump. We should do that. I'm not saying that we shouldn't. We should also be motivated to put people in office that's going to adequately defend the foundation of this country. We definitely should do that. It's midterm season. What we shouldn't do is look the other way with some other crazy shit that's happening. And gaslight people saying that we need to focus on this one thing and say fuck everything else. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. And now coming out of the horse's mouth, the horse being media, more broadly, the media sphere in and of itself, mainstream and independent alike, it's just another day at the office fucking with Trump at this point. Up is down, left is right. I put a video in the group chat, and I'll probably try to do a repost on YouTube. Excellent video. I watch international media as well, right? I watch LBC. I enjoy LBC because they're not just politically one-sided. They have a vast majority of ideological think on their platform, right? I watch LBC a lot, Leading Britain's Conversation. In the mornings, they have James O'Brien, and you know he do clips on YouTube, whatever. Then later on in the day, they'll post the entirety of his show. James O'Brien, he illustrated it perfectly, and he posed the question to the callers: "Hey, why don't we cover Trump as much anymore? Why is that?" And he gave the example of Trump's most recent antics involving South Korea. He get mad at South Korea because they refused military assistance to the United States with what's going on in Iran. But just last week, you told them, "Hey, look, man, we good. This shit is about to wrap up." You know, they totally obliterated. As a matter of fact, I got a back channel with Iran right now. Within the coming days, we finna have a revamped ceasefire agreement. That's what he said. Then you turn around and get mad at South Korea because they say, "Nah, we not fucking with you, bro. We not sending nothing, no troops, no military aid, none of that." So Trump did immediately post on True Social a photo from 2019, I believe, when he went. Him and fucking Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Then turn around and say, you know, he's advising DOD to reduce military presence and funding in South Korea. Like, what type of shit? This motherfucker is crazy, is what I'm saying, telling you. He is not to be taken serious because it's not serious. It's another day at the office fucking with Trump, is what I'm telling you. Media, both mainstream and independent, are alike are just not fucking with anything you got to say no more. Or let me rephrase that, because I ain't gonna say they're not reporting it. I'm just saying they simply don't take it seriously anymore, because it's not. And it goes back to what James Carville said many moons ago after the inauguration of Donald Trump too. Lay down and play dead. This shit is going to sell itself. And as a political prophet amongst men that James Carville is, because that's what he is, he proved it already. What he foretold has come to pass. What he has foretold has come to pass. Hey, you know, you got lefty loonies and, you know, some of these hardline progressives trying to gaslight the American people. Because some liberal Democrat pundits and legislators are trying to push back, like somewhat light-footedly, might I add. I think they should be going even harder. That's just me, my opinion. But some lib Democrats have trying to push back just a little on a lot of this hardline progressive DSA socialist shit. And the lefty loony pundits and talking heads and you know, people of those that ilk gaslighting people on social media saying, hey, why are you fighting back against Medicare for all or a higher minimum wage, blah, 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 this and that. Gaslight. Because they know damn well, you know, and again, there may be policy differences, but it's not that far off. But they try to use commonalities within policy positions to try to say, oh, liberal Democrats ain't for that. What? That's not even what we're talking about. It's not, and you know that's not what we're talking about. These were the same tactics being used against center-right Republicans at the advent of MAGA with Tea Party. Same shit. Same exact shit. The similarities are eye-popping. It's eye-popping. And now all of a sudden people say, oh man, it's no big deal. These people are a blip on the radar. They don't matter in the grand scale. Like what? So in the meantime, we just gonna scratch our ass and go along with it, get along until it get too big where it's no longer okay, now hold on, wait a minute. Like who does that? You know? And again, don't allow them to gaslight you into believing that this is merely a difference of policy and we're not accepting quote unquote popular policy. Again, there's not even a consensus on if it's popular or not. They want you to believe it's popular. And they'll tell you, hey, look, why are you focusing on DSA candidates and ultra progressive candidates when you should be focusing on MAGA? Like, huh? Like, we in primary season, buddy. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Another gaslight. But I remember 2024, don't you? All these same motherfuckers on YouTube and all these other platforms talking shit about Kamala, talking shit about Biden. MAGA didn't come out their fucking mouth. I'm talking about your majority, well, until it was too late. Majority Report, Kyle Kalinske, Breaking Point, Danielle Moody, Wajahat Ali, you name it. 2024, they made their whole career off talking shit about Democrats. Genocide Joe. And all this other crazy shit. They made a name for themselves in 2024. Like, what are we talking about? Now all of a sudden is vote blue no matter who. Gaslight you with that. Oh, didn't you tell us blue no matter who in 2024? And you know, now that they are DSA aligned candidates, it's not vote blue no matter who, huh? What's my motto coming into this? What I always say, folks: vote the policy, not the person. Vote the policy, not the person. If it's a candidate, I don't give a fuck what side of the aisle they are. That you feel that's more aligned with your values, your policy position, your principles. As an American, by all means, vote your heart. I'm not going to sit here and try to bash nobody about how they vote, even when it comes to third party. Now, I think you're shitting your vote away, but I don't have the right to not respect your vote as an American. I just don't do. I ain't got the right. I got every right to shit on you, though. All these people that were talking about Jill Stein in 2024. Yes, folks. 2024, Jill Stein. A Russian asset. More to come on Jill Stein later on. If I get the opportunity, I might try to throw in a lame duck. Hint, hint. So what I'm telling you is, when it comes to Trump and his antics, man, hey, listen, it is what it is. By all means, really can't do shit about it right now. That's just a fact. All you can do is hope that the checks are put into place that can stop it. And the people that are currently in a position to be those checks in government right now got the backbone to stop it. In some regards, some have. In some regards, some haven't. In some regards, some did both, i.e. the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been stopgaps on some issues and turnstiles on other fucking issues. I don't think that the ideal position for us to have right now is to go full on onslaught mob rule and then pack the fucking court. I don't think that's a viable option. In the short term, it may work, but like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? You expand the court to 13 justices, which I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. 13 Supreme Court justices for 13 districts, Supreme Court districts around the country. I guess it makes sense on paper, but ultimately, what are you like? What's the end game? Is what all I'm saying. What's the fucking end game? We're just gonna continue to build and build and build on a shaky foundation. Let's focus on the foundation. Maybe that'll help. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. So my fear in this present moment is not Trump. Trump is going to do what Trump do, be a dumbass. All I can do from, if we're looking at the executive, 2025, I jumped in my handbasket. I threw my hands up, and I'm enjoying the ride. I'm enjoying the ride. It's not my fault that you didn't build a handbasket and your ass is chafed, going down and descending into hell. That ain't my fault. It's not my fault. That's just where we at. I just want people to get real with the reality that we in. Some people are so enamored in the fantastical, dreamlike ideology of socialism that, again, it's the pendulum swing. In the game of politics, it's always swinging. The name of the game, though, is to keep the swing as minimal as possible, i.e. moderation, moderate, centrist. We already have seen pendulum swing in the clock, where now it's smashing on the right side of the fucking clock. Now it's gonna swing back left. That's just ain't shit we can do, but that's a fact. Because again, the Republicans are so stupid that they have allowed their party to be co-opted. Why do we think it's just an okay thing for that to happen on the left now? Whereas now it's gonna be bashing on the left side of the clock. I don't want that. So if I got to put my hand right there a little bit for it to hit my hand instead, so be it. You just want a nice, steady sway of the pendulum. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That's what you want. That's how the game of politics is played. Well, the game of government. Politics is how you play it. Nice and steady, nice and smooth. So that's where we at, man. That's where we at. I just want people to understand that. I want people to have a grasp of why shit is happening the way that it is. Trump and his antics are irrelevant. I'm not saying that Trump's policies are not detrimental to us. Of course they are. Of course they are. But you should have thought about that in 2024. People that were talking about it in 2024, you saying they was crying wolf. And now look at you. The time for Orange Man bad was 2024. Orange Man bad has come and gone in the sense that he's going to do what he's going to do. That's not me saying we shouldn't advocate for better legislators. Again, there's going to be a blue wave. That I can assure you of. It's going to be a blue wave. How big of a blue wave is up to how thick of a line we're willing to draw in the sand. What I mean by that is, how steadfast can the Republican Party be on principle? That's just what it is. A discussion needs to be had as far as how big of a tent Democrats are willing to have. How far left is the Democratic Party willing to go? Where now it's going to reshape the very ideology of the party itself. Political ideology. Populism is fed off of a boogeyman. Let's get that straight. Populism don't work without a antagonist. It just don't. When the antagonist is part of the big tent, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Matter of fact, not only a part of the big tent is like the ringleader of the fucking tent, which is the liberal caucus of the Democratic Party. We own the shit. This is where we at. Peace, Talik. How you doing, bro? This is where we're at. So do we allow the party to eat itself and become this new thing, and people just adhere to it? Like what do we do? Again, at the end of the day, it's not up to me. I can only do so much. I can fight the rhetoric on the social side. I'm not in no position of power. That's just what it is. All I can do is fight the rhetoric. As a black person, as a black American, as a freedman, as a soul brother, as Talik would say, am I willing to sacrifice and this is some real shit I want black people to take heed to. Like, I want y'all to think about this shit. All my life I grew up, sometimes matter of fact, most of the time in defiance. because I actively considered myself a Republican at one point in time for a large majority of my adult life. But just for the sake of the argument, all my life I grew up hearing that the Republicans want to destroy the identity of black people in the sense that they want to keep them inferior to the dominant society, using a Tariq Nasheed dumbass line, right? And pretty much within MAGA, especially Trump too, I've seen that firsthand. From a policy standpoint, I've seen it. We see all the shit Trump has done, renaming bases after Confederate generals and erasing black history out of national parks. Like, this shit is it's pretty straightforward, you know what I'm saying, on what the fuck is going on. But now here we have the lefty loonies, the ultra progressives, the DSA, saying that my existence as a black person really doesn't matter. What matters is my existence as a working class individual. That supersedes your identity. A lot of lefty loonies are outright say, you know, we disavow identity politics, whatever the fuck that means. They say it in negative connotation. They'll outright say it. Meaning that they too want to erase your identity as a black American. Not for the nefarious means that MAGA maniacs want to do it. They want to do it simply because they just indifferent to it and it really don't fucking matter. Your plight as a black American don't mean shit to me, my middle management, middle class, white ass. What really matters is our class structure. Even though I make 10 to 12 times more than you, we're still in the same boat, Negro. Power be to the people. This is what we face. So on one side, you got covert racism. On the other side, you got racist indifference. Which one you go pick? Let me see you lesser of two evils, that shit. This is what we're facing. And like I said, I had to take a hard look in the mirror and say, look, like, who am I in this moment in time? Fuck what I've been in the past. I can't really focus on what I might be in the future. What am I today? I had to take a hard look in the mirror and say, hey, look, if I'm going to pick a fight, I'm going to pick a fight for the survival of my people. And I'm an individualist. I'm going to pick a fight for the survival of my people to be able to be sure that they can maintain who the fuck they are as a people, as an identity. And the fight, whether I agree with it or don't agree with it, I'm going to make sure that those people got a right to fight specificity for themselves. And that's why I chose to be a liberal Democrat. As I would want any identity of persons to have that right to fight. Whether you black, whether you white, whether you any other minority, whether you gay, whether you straight, whether you're trans, I don't give a shit. As an American, I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you and fight that good fight for you to have rights specific to your wants and your needs and your plight. That's what it means to be a liberal. Equal protection under the law. Socialists don't give a shit about none of that. Socialists say throw all that out the window. The fight is the establishment versus the proletariat. And I say fuck off. There is no centrally planned existence of my life. And it won't be. It just won't. So at this moment in time, what fight do I choose to have? Talk about Trump all day long or talk about this? I'd rather talk about this. Trump is Trump. He gonna do what he do. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. And that's where we at. I continue. Oh, he got him. Oh no, he going way past. I continue to say, yes, let's focus on putting the next Congress in place to raise all holy hell on Trump and his minions. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've conceded at least to Al Sayed. Listen, if I was in Michigan, I would have voted for Haley Stevens. No doubt a fucking about it. Abdul Al Sayed got too much of a stain on him when it comes to a lot of his surrogates and his rhetoric. But at the end of the day, I've heard things that Al Sayed has said that has calmed my mind when it comes to a lot of the socialist lefty loony shit. So I give him a pass. Everybody in Michigan needs to vote for Al Sayed. Especially when it comes to the Senate and how tight the Senate majority possibly could or could not be. Absolutely. But some of these other people, nah, I can't fuck with you. I can't do it. A lot of these lefty loonies in New York, hell no. We came up good in the Hong Crowley race. Hong was a nut job. And again, tonight we have the Jared Moskowitz, Oliver Larkin race in Florida's 25th, I believe. So that's where we at. We'll see how everything plays out. And again, Thursday night, we'll discuss it with my host, Ricardo, and of course, Bankat. But yeah, like I said, moving forward, as far as the show goes, and I'll end with this. Moving forward, I just got to find a groove, man. Like I said, it ain't no shot at none of the TFP brothers or nothing like that. It's just I got to find a groove on how I want to position the content on the channel going forward. And again, I don't even necessarily want to have it on this channel. As we discussed, I want to make a dedicated TFP channel. But if the engagement from putting content on the channel isn't there, like I don't really like see a point, because it's only so much that I can do. I'm not at home. This would be a totally different thing if I was at home every day. Totally fucking different. If I was at home every day, I'd probably be live every day. I'll be live every fucking day. At least for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Hour and a half, something like that. Or at the very least, if not being live, premiering videos. Like I would be able to make formed content. Like just sit down and fucking do it. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? But with me being in my truck, I gotta break shit down, put it back up, break shit on. You know, I just feel as though people that got the people that work regular jobs, it should be easier for them to do this shit than me do it. You know, and I don't complain about it. You know, I don't complain about it at all. But at the end of the day, I think it's more of an enthusiasm question than anything else. You know, and I'm enthused about making political content because I like it. You know, and I want my shit to look a certain way. I don't want no nigga shit. You know, even though I'm in my truck, it's forced to be nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? But the quality on the substantive issues surrounding the topics is important to me. And it's important to me to further expound on an issue that's at hand, not no underlying shit that really don't matter, you know. But like I said, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out some type of way. And I mean, and even with that, again, if I was home every day, yeah, it'll be a different situation. But the time that I am home, because I'm not usually at home, I spend with my family. You know, I'm not fucking around on no shit while I'm, my time is precious when I'm at home. So I usually don't fuck with it, right? Like even in the group chats and shit like that, I'm not looking at none of that shit unless it's like something like breaking or something like that, you know. But other than that, yeah, man, I'm chilling, kicking it with the kids. Like my son is going off to college, kicking it with my twins, and kicking it with the girl, with my woman and shit. Other than that, like, yeah, I'm not, and then trying to play a couple hours on the game. Hell, I can't tell even trying to do that. Y'all know how that shit is, man. You go home, you start playing the game. It's like your woman don't fuck with you none. Soon as you sit your ass down, play the game, it's a problem. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm trying to do me when I'm at home because I only got so much of it. So that's where I'm at, man. But like I said, we'll figure it out. But I mean, speaking of the game, like I said, I'm playing Disco Elysium now. I haven't been streaming it. I streamed like the first few hours of it, then I stopped doing it. The game is incredible, man. Like I said the other day, dare I say, it's one of the greatest games that I've ever played. I'm just keep it real. Because it's so different. It's unlike anything I've ever played. I mean, it's literally a point and click type game. But it's like an audio book. That's how it reads. The shit is incredible. I can't even describe it. It's incredible. And that's what I'm currently playing. I'm hoping after this next weekend I'll be finished. I mean, I think I'm like close to the ending, right? If I was a at home everyday guy, I mean, I probably could be done with that game within maybe a week or two, maybe. Like Madden came out last week. I ain't even played that shit yet. I'm like, man, Madden. Again, them type of games, they just there for my enjoyment, man. I'm not sitting, slobbing off of Madden. Like it is what it is. Like I get to see my favorite team play football virtually. That's all I can take Madden for these days. It is what the fuck it is. It's no significance to my life. I'll play it just for the simple fact that it got the shield on, you know. But I'll probably check Madden out next week when I get home too. Well, not next week, but this weekend when I get home. I got the EA the 10-hour trial, so I'll probably check it out. Just like I checked out college football. I wasn't too excited with college either. So yeah, I might pass on. I might pick one or the other. It'll probably be Madden. I don't give a shit about college football all that much. So I'll probably buy Madden. But we'll see. But anyway, guys, let me get the hell out of here. Like up the video, man, comment, and subscribe, man. And again, I got another channel already. I got MD's War Room, right? Originally, my concept for MD's War Room was that was going to be my dark, like, that was going to be where I put some of my most explicit content on. It was going to be like a throwaway channel. That's why I was going to do like my book readings, the movies and all that shit was going to go over there. Because, shit that was going to be susceptible to strikes and stuff like that. What I might end up doing is just swapping that out and just making that the TFP dedicated channel. Because I think that TFP deserves like a fresh start, if that make any sense. You know what I'm saying? To see that we can cultivate an audience. See if it's even possible. Doing it on my channel, hell, even doing it back then on Trevor's channel didn't do the show justice, if that makes sense. Because I think because we were so different from what Trevor was doing, and my channel being dead for so long, and like me not really giving a fuck about it, me giving a fuck about other people's channels more than my own, and it being different content, it don't do TFP justice. So I think TFP deserves its own dedicated channel to see if it's even possible to cultivate an audience. You know what I'm saying? And work the social media rounds through a dedicated entity that is TFP and not MD. If that makes sense. But again, I'm discouraged in going fully into it because in actuality it's just me. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. But I mean, I guess you can give it the old college try. You know what I'm saying? You can give it the old college try. But we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. We'll see how everything goes, man. But yeah, that's my little spiel for today. Anything else pops up, hey, y'all know I'll be back. And yeah, that's where we at, man. Shout out to Tali Eben Rod, man, for coming through. I always enjoy Soul Brother #1 coming through and giving his stamp of approval. You know what I'm saying? I always enjoy that. So yeah, that's where we at with it, fellas. That's where we at with it, man. So we'll see how everything goes, man. Everything goes. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Swing.